EA Sports. It's in the game.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints. Hello again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, partner, I think we can safely sum up the goal of this final week of the preseason with 3 simple words. Don't get hurt.
And make sure you follow that mantra, okay? We cannot have you hurt going into the season, but you're exactly right. Starters will play very little, if at all, in this game. A lot of guys fighting to make the roster because after this game's over, we get down to the 53-man number, and guys will be fighting like mad to be included in it.
Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating the offense, a 6'5" quarterback from Wyoming.
How about 54 touchdown passes in 2 full seasons at the University of Wyoming? Coming out of a junior college, I think he exceeded expectations, and he can move it around a little bit too. A much better athlete than people give him credit for.
The first carry now. This is Hill. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Quickly now, here's the Buffalo offense.
LaShawn Shady McCoy, one of the best running backs in the NFL. Why? Because of his ability to run the football. He's going to be a 1,000-yard runner year in and year out. But how about his ability to catch it out of the backfield and continue to create big plays?
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll try and run forward with McCoy. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield.
Everyone come forward. Four down. Ready. You ready?
Now Breeze. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch. especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Ready. You waiting? Ready, what's that?
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there of 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Ready. You ready?
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Ready. You waiting? Ready, what's that?
Breeze going to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal.
Ready. You waiting?
Breeze hands to Ingram. They showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
Well, they're going to try this. They need 5 full yards to hit the end zone here on 4th and goal, but they're going for it.
Ready. Yellow waiting.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Well, they just put a little sizzle in their steak there. 1st quarter, 4th and goal, run it in. A boost.
I think they showed confidence in their defense by going for it. That's telling their defense, look, we're counting on you guys, and we know that we believe in you because we go for it here. Even if we don't get it, get field position on our side, and you'll stop them. Instead, they put it in the end zone and tally up 6 points.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. No gain, and it's 2nd down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go! 319! 319!
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
Ready! Yellow lady! Yellow lady!
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. 1 quarter down. It's the Saints in the lead early here. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. But did most of the starting units out here in the second quarter, so get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot, because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
The first throw for the backup Peterman. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jerome Elliott coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. The first throw now for the backup, Nathan Peterman. And that is incomplete. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what did you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now. Needs to get on tape.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
It's complete to Josh Allen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Set. Blue 90.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body, I mean, he's got some strength up there and some really good hands, but he's got some surprising quickness as well to get him upfield.
Now let's go. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They can't tackle it. And they'll get this down to the 10. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
They'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
How about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate.
And nowhere to turn for Peterman as he hits the turf. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go now.
Peterman to throw. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a handoff. Here's Hill. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Bills send the punter out. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run here with Marine. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. One more half of preseason football to go. And then all eyes will look ahead to 1 week from tonight, the annual NFL kickoff game. And that promises to be a dandy. In our game, the starters are long gone, but still some intrigue to see guys trying to make a late roster push as we get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
This quarterback now 4 of 6 since taking over, and he's got a first down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. That is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's complete to Lewis. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Floyd, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter. Not
only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Here we go now.
On 2nd down, Hill. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll throw on 1st down with Peterman. Open man is Uzama. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And got his man complete. And finally, he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Taron Johnson made the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run again with Vereen. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences down, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On the run, here's Vereen. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run. It's Vereen. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. Just didn't work.
Not at all. The communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close, and close quickly.
Peterman and the Bills come up now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, Peterman. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
Now Peterman on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The 30, past the 20, and he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, it's Peterman. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation, because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now they'll throw it with Peterman. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Corey Coleman from 8 yards out. And the Bills get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point put through by Suckup, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now Michael Floyd and company heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Hey, here we go now. Green 39.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Saints on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
All right, here we go. Green 30.
Here's Marines. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a 10, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Set. Blue.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.